Strickland is gonna win that one.
Strickland is gonna win?
Yeah. Why are you laughing? You wanna bet?
Yeah.
How much? $1 million.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at he's so weird.
Hey, you got it, bro. You gotta go full send.
So
I bet it.
I'm trying to get from him 1 million.
Whoa!
Oh, hey. I'm a hair singer. You'll be making more money than me.
Okay, 50K. Okay.
You guys are way.
I hope you're not. I hope you're not gonna feel good that day.
Sean gonna win.
50,000.
Sean's gonna win.
Listen, fucker. I know I'm gonna win.
Yes!
Hey, listen, dog. I beat this go in training. I'll do it in a fight.
All right, wait, don't
Oh
call.
my! I forgot you did beat him in training.
Yeah.
Guys, Strickland versus Chimaev is not going to be a competitive fight. This is going to be decided in the first round. Now, let me tell you why. I'm not suggesting for you that the fight ends in the first round. What I'm telling you is whoever wins that round is going to win all the rest of the rounds the exact same way.
Arman Tsarukyan just put his money where his mouth is. He didn't just pick a winner. He laughed in the face of anyone doubting Khamzat Chimaev. During a wild live stream with Adin Ross, the top-ranked lightweight dropped a bombshell that left the room speechless. He isn't just predicting a win. He's calling for absolute destruction. This wasn't just talk for the cameras. Arman was ready to put $1 million on the line because he knows something the rest of the world hasn't realized yet. The tension was palpable as the bet was locked in.
Strickland is gonna win that one.
Strickland is gonna win?
Yeah. Why are you laughing? You wanna bet?
Yeah.
How much? $1 million.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at he's so weird. Look at him.
He knows himself.
Okay, I know your budget, 50,000.
Adin Ross couldn't believe his ears when Arman started laughing at the mention of Sean Strickland. To Adin, Strickland is the gritty underdog who can outwork anyone, but to Arman, this matchup is a foregone conclusion. He looked Adin dead in the eyes and mocked the idea of the fight even being competitive. The disrespect was levels deep. Arman sees a massive gap in skill that most analysts are too afraid to mention. He's convinced that Khamzat is on an entirely different planet when it comes to raw dominance and physical pressure.
On right now.
And what else? I can call Hamza and
Oh, fuck Neon.
Wait, yeah, you call Sean.
That would be a great
And then get him on the phone
promotion.
together.
Neon.
Get him on the phone together at the same time.
give me your hand like a man.
I dare you to get them on the phone.
50,000.
All right, since George said it.
The stakes escalated instantly when the conversation turned from opinions to cold hard cash. Adin Ross was hesitant at first, but the pressure from Arman was relentless. Arman was pushing for $1 million wager, showing a level of certainty that you rarely see even among elite fighters. Eventually, they settled on a $50,000 bet, but the message was sent. Arman is so sure of Khamzat's victory that he's willing to gamble a small fortune on a fight that hasn't even happened. He's betting on a complete blowout.
Sean, listen, I'm on stream. My chat won't even call you. I'm gonna.
Of course you're on stream, dog. You're always on stream, dude.
Sean, I'm gonna bet $50,000.
Fuck on stream. Do you shit on stream, dog? You're always on stream.
I do everything on stream. Sean, I know you're gonna beat Khamzat. I'm putting 50K on you with Arman right now.
Oh, that's hey. You know, man, it's your money, dog. Go full send.
Full send.
He doesn't sound
Okay.
confident.
Here's the thing, bro. You ain't gonna miss 50K, dog. You know, you'll be all good. We'll make
Isn't
that.
it-
Wait,
gonna win?
you not think you're gonna win?
No, bro.
You're gonna win.
Listen. I know I'm gonna win. Hey,
Yes.
listen, dog. I beat this go in training. I'll do it in a fight.
All right, wait, don't call.
Oh my! I forgot you did beat him in training.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you about this one.
I'm a witness.
We got this shit handled.
Sean, I love you, bro.
It's a solid.
To make matters even more chaotic, they decided to pull Sean Strickland into the middle of the storm. Adin Ross hit the dial and got the former champion on the phone live in front of thousands of viewers. The energy shifted the second Sean picked up. You could hear the grit in his voice as he realized he was being bet against by one of his peers. Arman didn't back down for a second. He told Sean to his face that he was going to lose his money. It was a rare, unfiltered look at the psychological warfare happening behind the scenes.
Are you
Yeah, I'm here, brother. I'm here.
Oh, let's go, bro. Hey,
Sean.
after me and
Sean.
Boy fight, bro, we
Sean.
gotta do some.
Listen, if you believe on somebody, if you're friends on somebody, you gotta like go on all of his all the money you have. You gotta put on your guy, even if he's weak, right?
Hey, you got it, bro. You gotta go full send.
So
I bet it.
I'm trying to get from him 1 million.
Whoa!
Oh, hey, I'm a hair singer. You'll be making more money than me.
Okay, 50K. Okay.
Either way, I don't.
I hope you're not. I hope you're not gonna feel good that day.
Sean gonna win.
50,000.
Sean's gonna win.
Okay, take care.
Hey, yo, Arman, congrats on that wrestling.
Thank
match,
you
bro.
so
You're
much.
good.
Thank you
Good
so
shit.
much.
See, you guys would be good friends.
Sean Strickland didn't take the disrespect lying down. He fired back with a revelation that should have silenced the room. He reminded everyone that he has already shared the training mat with Khamzat Chimaev. According to Sean, he's already handled that pressure and come out on top in the gym. He told Adin to go full send on the bet because he's done it before and he'll do it again. But Arman just smirked. Training room stories are one thing, but Arman believes the octagon is a completely different beast that Sean isn't ready for. Arman's confidence comes from a very specific place. He isn't just looking at the names, he's looking at the mechanics of the fight. He explicitly stated that this wouldn't be a back and forth war. In his eyes, the entire outcome will be decided in the very first round. He believes whoever wins that first round is going to win every other round the exact same way. He thinks Khamzat's initial explosion is too much for anyone to handle, let alone someone who relies on a slow burn pace like Strickland. If Khamzat gets his way early, the fight is over. Adding fuel to the fire, Arman is actually on the inside of this camp. He's been seen training alongside Khamzat, even engaging in friendly grappling sessions to help him prepare. He's seeing the version of Chimaev that isn't filtered through social media highlights. He's feeling the strength, the technique, and the relentless drive firsthand. When a fighter of Arman's caliber says someone is going to destroy a world-class opponent, people start to listen. He isn't just guessing, he's reporting what he sees in the practice room every single day.
I think Khamzat needs to relax and to fight a full fight. You got to flow. You got to get takedowns, but not hold on to takedowns. You got to throw hands. Get a takedown, throw hands, and not hold tight. You just got to relax. He's got the hands. He's got to be able to change levels. You can't just glue to Sean Strickland. You can get your takedowns, you do your damage, and then you reassess the fight. You can't commit to holding that guy down. He's very hard to hold down. So Khamzat relaxes. He wins this fight everywhere.
Former champion Luke Rockhold weighed in on the madness, and his take aligns perfectly with the destruction narrative. Rockhold believes Khamzat holds the edge in every single department. The key, according to Luke, is composure. If Khamzat doesn't rush the finish or get desperate for control, he can dismantle Strickland piece by piece. Rockhold suggests that Khamzat needs to mix the takedowns with damage, rather than just wrestling for the sake of wrestling. If he stays relaxed, Rockhold sees no path to victory for the former middleweight king.
At the body a little bit early. What do you think is the key here for Sean to have a real shot up outside of just stopping the takedown?
Well, the key is maybe not a lot of those things, to not really overthink what he's going to do during fight week. Just be who you are, which certainly is going to be promotionally probably at his best and ripping from all cords. I think he has a really good chance just because of all the experience that he's accrued in all sorts of different situations, winning the belt, putting it on the line a few months thereafter, stepping up for the UFC at a number of different occasions and fights people don't talk about against Abus Magomedov and Nassourdini Mavov. None of these guys are easy to beat. So I think that Sean draws a lot of strength from that experience, certainly his familiarity with Chimaev. These are all encouraging signs.
Not everyone is sold on the idea of a one-sided slaughter. John Anik points out that Sean Strickland's greatest weapon is his uncanny ability to remain himself under extreme pressure. Sean has been in the trenches with the most dangerous men on the planet and never blinked. Anik believes that Sean's experience in championship rounds and his familiarity with Khamzat's style give him a psychological edge that money can't buy. He isn't intimidated by the boogeyman aura because he knows exactly what it feels like to be in the cage with him.
Sean Strickland and Khamzat Chimaev have felt each other. They have not felt each other in an octagon at the Rock in Newark, New Jersey. So I think it does stand to reason that Khamzat could be at his suffocating best and really make things the opposite of a picnic for Sean. But man, I can't wait to see it. I mean, it's the biggest fight on my immediate horizon for sure. It's coming up quickly.
Dude, I love how it's happening in New York, New Jersey. And also, you know, Strickland has that cardio as well, right? He's a big dude. So many interesting things about this fight.
Chael Sonnen took the analysis a step further by highlighting a massive clash of styles that hasn't been resolved. Chael noted that while Khamzat's plan A is to tackle and crush his opponents immediately, nobody has ever been able to do that to Sean Strickland. Chael has seen Sean in the practice room for years and claims he's never seen anyone hold him down for a full round. It's the ultimate test of an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. Chael believes we will have our answer within the first 3 minutes of the opening bell.
It is very difficult for me to imagine Chimaev can't go out and tackle somebody. Why? Well, because every Chimaev fight I've seen, he has gone out and tackled somebody quickly, repeatedly. But it's very hard for me to imagine that he's going to just throw Sean Strickland down. Nobody else has. Kamaru Usman didn't. Just for example of great wrestlers. I have seen Sean in the practice room. Just for example, and practice room stories are very, very relevant. Like, you'll see a different side of a guy in a practice room. When a guy goes into a fight, he's going to go with plan A. And he will never go to plan B, ever, unless plan A doesn't work.
One of the biggest factors in this fight is the disappearance of the mystery surrounding Khamzat. Because they have trained together, the aura of invincibility that usually freezes Khamzat's opponents won't work on Sean. Strickland knows what it's like to feel that grip and those strikes. However, Chael warns that even without the aura, the physical reality of Khamzat is a nightmare. He might not be scared, but Sean still has to deal with a man who leaves everything in the cage until he's physically spent. It's a high-speed collision waiting to happen.
I've never in the practice room seen somebody go throw Sean Strickland down and keep him there. Ever. Not for one single round, not ever. I've seen him taken down. I've seen him start on bottom. I have never seen him taken down and kept there. Adversely, I've never seen Chimaev not take somebody down and keep them there. I mean, do you see where this is interesting? Like, it's a very classic battle. And it's not the classic battle of striker versus grappler, but it is the classic battle of, can Chimaev, whose plan A is to take you down, work? And if it doesn't, can we necessarily count him out? No. We don't actually know that, but we will know in the very first round.
Din Thomas offered a perspective that might worry the Khamzat supporters. He admitted that before seeing Sean's recent performances, he thought this would be a one-sided beatdown. But after watching Strickland up close against Fluffy Hernandez, he's changed his tune. Din highlighted Sean's awkward style, his underrated wrestling defense, and those brutal body shots that drain an opponent's gas tank. He believes if the version of Sean that showed up in his last few fights enters the cage, he won't just survive, he might actually pull off the upset.
Chimaev also wears a mask. Chimaev has an aura around him. Everybody that speaks of him speaks the same way that I do, which is very highly. Very good reputation, very good work ethic, very good leader in the gym. But he doesn't wear that mask with Sean because Sean used to train with him. I'm just sharing with you, like, whoever wins that first round, I don't know that it's as simple as can Sean stop the takedown. I think that Sean is a better kickboxer. I think that he's a meaningfully better kickboxer. I watched Sean for 25 minutes out kickbox Israel Adesanya, who is a decorated, pure kickboxer. But we don't actually know. What can Chimaev do on his feet? There was also a stigma going around about Chimaev that he would get tired. That he would get tired and fade. But that stigma wasn't true. What we learned is Chimaev leaves everything out there.
The tactical battle is where things get truly interesting. TJ Dillashaw and Demetrius Johnson analyzed the footwork involved. They noted that Strickland's game relies on walking people down and landing that stiff jab. If he can force Khamzat to back up, he can win the fight. But if Khamzat is the one moving forward, Sean's defense could crumble. Dillashaw believes Khamzat is simply too strong and now has the cardio to match. He expects Khamzat to set up the takedowns with combinations, making it impossible for Sean to just focus on the wrestling.
Strickland Khamzat fight, who do you think is going to win that one? Because obviously a lot of people are picking Khamzat. He's just so dominant. But out of all the options, Sean does have great wrestling takedown defense, and also he's got great shots to the body, and he's very awkward to fight. Good cardio too.
Yeah, I think honestly, you know, if you were to ask me before the Fluffy fight,
yeah,
I would have said there's no way. I think Sean's great, but you know, he's just going to be another victim for Khamzat. But after watching him fight Fluffy up close and personal, again, cage side, man, I think Sean could pull this off, man. I'm actually thinking if that Sean Strickland shows up.
Sean's coach, Eric Nixick, isn't going into this blind. He's already breaking down the grappling systematically to ensure Sean doesn't get smothered. Nixick explained that they are focusing on breaking attachments. Instead of fighting for traditional underhooks that allow Khamzat to stay glued to him, they are using frames to create space. They are studying Khamzat's favorite routes on the ground to stay one step ahead. It's a chess match where one wrong move means getting buried under a mountain of pressure and ground and pound.
I think he defends a couple shots. He will get taken down, but I think he gets back to his feet. And then if he can get his jab going, his jab and those teep kicks going, because what Sean does well naturally is already a good defense towards a guy like Khamzat. And it's not like he's got to do anything different. Just what he does good naturally is already a good start for beating a guy like Khamzat. So him adding on to that, I think, man, if the guy who fought Fluffy shows up, he beats Khamzat.
Joe Pyfer, who knows the power of both men, is leaning toward a Strickland victory in his heart. He recognizes that Khamzat's wrestling is on a different level, but he thinks Sean has the grit to survive the initial storm. Pyfer's theory is simple. If Sean isn't submitted or knocked out in the first round, the momentum shifts entirely in his favor. He believes Sean's wrestling is actually better than most people give him credit for, especially compared to other top contenders. The first 5 minutes will be the most dangerous of Sean's entire life.
As long as Khamzat doesn't allow Strickland to go like this and walk him down, then Khamzat beats him. Yeah. But if Strickland walks on Khamzat and able to push him and get him tired, get him to slow down, then you can see Strickland start to get that jab off. Khamzat gets in trouble. He shoots. Strickland sprawls, big body on top of him. But that's something that Strickland has done to many people, where I didn't think Strickland was going to beat some of the people out there, right?
Yeah, that's true. I just think Khamzat's too strong.
Yeah, oh yeah, 1,000%.
He's too strong, and now he's got the cardio to go along with it. As long as he plays his game and he sets these takedowns up, he can't just shoot blind shot. Like, I don't want to shoot off from here, which he's done it and got away with it because he's so strong. He's very strong. He can shoot a shot from here and still get it. But I want him to get Strickland to start moving his hands and parrying and then shoot my shot. So throwing combos first, getting a shot, keeping the pressure on him instead of vice versa, countering that jab, really working that body.
Pyfer's strategy for beating the Chechen monster involves a disciplined first 10 minutes. He suggests staying in the center of the octagon and being ready for the shot at all times. He believes everything Khamzat throws early is just a setup to get the fight to the floor and fatigue the opponent. By staying low and grounded, Sean can prevent Khamzat from getting under his hips. If he can stop that initial surge, the invincible fighter starts to look very human. But stopping that surge is something almost nobody has managed to do so far.
How do you prepare for someone like Khamzat potentially covering you guys for a whole round like that?
Yeah, it's a great question, bro. I really think you have to break it down systematically. You have to do things from the feet. You have to do things in a certain way to try to negate the fit in, and not to get too much into the game plan, but just you can't dig for underhooks immediately. You have to work off of frames. If you get an underhook, that a lot of times what happens is there's going to be an over under, so that means you're attached, right? So how do you break attachments? And then on the ground, what routes does Khamzat favor on the grounds? What are some of our counters to that? So, we definitely got our work cut out for us, but I think if you just focus on the ground element alone, somehow, some way, you almost subliminally put your fighter there, and that's the expectations of that fight. We really have to be able to work things in how do we keep it on the feet? How do we slow the takedown down? How do we break the clinch? All these things very systematic from start to finish, and not just expect, okay, we're going to start in referees, or we're going to start with him on your back, or we're going to do this, because that means you already got there. So there's a whole other element that we have to make sure that we're covering our bases on to try to nullify that before we even get there.
Colby Covington, never one to mince words, had a much more cynical view of the matchup. He expects a straightforward win for Khamzat, but for a different reason. Colby suggested that Sean Strickland might be reaching the end of his rope. He claims Sean is just looking for one last big payday before walking away from the sport. In Colby's mind, a fighter with 1 foot out the door can't survive a shark like Khamzat. He expects the wrestling to be too much, and for Khamzat to make the whole thing look remarkably easy.
Excited to see it. I think these guys got true beef. I think Sean Strickland's a good fighter. I think Khamzat's an excellent wrestler and a good fighter. He's got aura about him. He's fun to watch. And yeah, I think I'm really excited for that. I do have Sean Strickland in my heart winning, so I don't know if he'll win because, Khamzat's a different level of wrestling, but I think Sean can kind of survive the storm if he doesn't get submitted in the first round. Obviously, I think he can win that fight, so I think he's got better wrestling than DDP does. But yeah, I think it's going to be a really good fight, man. They're two of the best for a reason, so yeah, I'm excited for that.
Aljamain Sterling pointed out that Khamzat's preparation has reached a new level. With new coaches and a more refined training camp, the stamina issues that plagued him in the past might be gone. Sterling noted that if Khamzat can now go 5 hard rounds, it removes Sean's biggest path to victory. Usually opponents hope to outlast Khamzat, but if that window is closed, they are in deep trouble. However, Aljo still leaves room for a surprise. He knows that Strickland's vocal desire for this fight means he sees a weakness no one else does.
Marquez and you were head coach building a game plan for someone to beat Khamzat, such a dominant champion. What would somebody need to put in place in order to get the victory?
I think you have to obviously do your due diligence on your wrestling, and understand that the only thing he's going to throw in the beginning is to set up that initial takedown. He wants to wrestle early so he can fatigue you. And if you're super disciplined, I would say probably for like the first 10 minutes of that fight where you're just ready for the shot and you're just throwing everything up the middle and changing levels with him, where you're staying low and you're staying grounded so he doesn't get a chance to get under you. I think that you have a very, very, very good chance of winning. But it's not, that's just from what we've seen. I think if you're able to stop the takedown, you have a very fair chance of beating Khamzat.
Israel Adesanya, a man who has felt the pressure of the octagon at the highest level, called Khamzat a bat out of hell. He expects an immediate, aggressive assault that most fighters simply can't match. Izzy knows how difficult it is to deal with someone who refuses to give you an inch of breathing room. While he thinks Sean can potentially match that pace, he's skeptical about anyone staying off the mat when Khamzat decides it's time to go down. The gym stories might give Sean confidence, but the lights of the arena change everything.
Does he beat Sean Strickland?
I think he beats Sean, yeah. I think that Sean's, at the end of his career looking for one last paycheck, so I think he takes him down and makes it look pretty easy.
The friction between Arman and Adin Ross during the stream highlights the massive divide in how people view this fight. On one side, you have the fans who see Sean as the ultimate survivor. On the other, you have elite pros like Arman who see a technical mismatch. Arman's willingness to risk $50,000 shows he isn't just playing for the cameras. He truly believes that Khamzat is a force of nature that will steamroll through the middleweight division. He didn't just stun Adin, he challenged the entire narrative of the fight.
But I know these guys train with each other a bunch, and Strickland was very vocal in trying to get this fight, and it leads me to believe that there's something there that he feels he can kind of take advantage of.
Yeah.
But I would imagine the Khamzat that wasn't training the way he's training now, with the new coaches that he has and all that, where he kind of gasses out a little bit, that would be a more favorable matchup for Strickland. But now, even in the matchup with DDP, he was able to show that he can go 5 rounds. So that's a tough one for me. It's really a toss-up. If I had a bet, I would go with the favorite, but I wouldn't be surprised if Strickland was able to surprise us.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my 2 cents on that, and I'm looking forward to the fight.
One detail that often gets overlooked is the location of the fight. New Jersey will be the backdrop for this collision, and the atmosphere will be electric. Both fighters thrive on the energy of a crowd, but Khamzat's style is built to silence them. If he can secure a dominant takedown early, the air will leave the building. Arman is banking on that silence. He's betting on the moment where Sean realizes the training sessions of the past don't matter anymore. He's betting on the raw, unfiltered violence that Khamzat brings to every walk.
And of course, we have a title fight coming up with Chimaev making that first title defense against Sean Strickland in Newark. You've shared the cage with Strickland before. How big of a dog is he in this fight in your eyes? Can he upset the apple cart?
I think he can if it goes to the later rounds and he doesn't get taken down. But again, Chimaev is a bat out of hell. He's a guy that comes aggressively straight away, and Strickland can match that probably, but we'll see. And they've trained together, so this is probably something that happened in the gym that we are not privy to. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But I look forward to watching it and reacting to it on YouTube.
As the date draws closer, the tension between these two camps is reaching a boiling point. It's not just a fight for a title or a ranking, it's a fight for pride. With millions of dollars in potential bets and reputations on the line, the pressure is astronomical. Arman Tsarukyan has made his stance clear, and he's prepared to look like a genius or a fool. He's convinced that by the end of the first round, everyone will realize why he was laughing at Adin Ross. The destruction he's predicting is nothing short of legendary.
Brother, we know who's winning that fight.
Strickland.
Come on, bro.
I'll call Sean right.
This matchup represents the ultimate crossroads in MMA history. Is Khamzat Chimaev truly the unstoppable force that elite fighters like Arman believe he is? Or will Sean Strickland prove once again that grit and experience can overcome raw power? When the cage door closes, the bets will be final and the talk will stop. Whether it's a first-round blowout or a 5-round war, one thing is certain: the landscape of the sport will never be the same. Only one man will walk out with his hand raised, while the other faces the reality of a devastating defeat.